What's up guys, CJ here, and welcome back to another all-new H&N. Thanks for tuning in. We'll get you caught up on all the hot news from this past weekend, starting off with X-Men Apocalypse's disappointing opening weekend box office numbers. Jesse Eisenberg confirms he'll be back for Justice League, and a new director potentially joining the DCEU. First up though, let's talk about X-Men Apocalypse's opening weekend at the box office, and little rough. Thanks to Memorial Day Monday, the film's 4-day total is $80 million, but the actual opening weekend numbers are just $65 million. And why is that? Well, that's because the weekends are only measured Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, with Thursday nights being lumped into the Friday gross. There's no exception made for holiday weekends. Either way, that is much lower than expected, as audiences clearly were not ready for the apocalypse. In fact, that's actually $25 million lower than Days of Future Past's $90 million opening 2 years ago. That's bad news, but it could get even worse, as now analysts expect that the film will not break $200 million domestically during its entire theatrical run. And in fact, it could end up closer to First Class's $140 million than Days of Future Past's $233 million. But, and little silver lining here, it's not like the film isn't going to make its $185 million budget back. I mean, it's already made $265 million worldwide. But kind of like Batman v Superman, just because it makes its budget back and then some doesn't make it a success in the studio's eyes. And you know, it's a simple case of expectations not lining up with reality. The simple fact is that the studio probably expected much more from this film, given the positive reactions to the younger cast in the last two movies, when it looked like the franchise was at least moving in a positive direction. So I wouldn't be shocked if there are some shakeups over at the Fox Marvel universe in the wake of this, but I can honestly say I wouldn't be shocked either if there are no shakeups. I mean, you can just look at how entrenched the team behind this is over there. But let me know your thoughts on the film in the comment section below. In our next story, Jesse Eisenberg confirmed to fans that he'll be returning as Lex Luthor in Justice League Part 1. Great. Just great. The announcement came at MCM London Comic-Con, much to the delight of the fans, as Eisenberg revealed that the production has already started, which we already knew, and that he's just waiting for his call. And you know, it shouldn't come as a huge shock given that communion-deleted scene that was released a couple months back that showed him talking to what looked to be Steppenwolf, who reportedly is the villain in the first Justice League film. And you know, I'm holding out hope for Eisenberg and his version of Luthor, just like I held out hope for Cavill and his version of Superman after Man of Steel, and I'm still waiting on that, but I'm just not sure how he turns it around and becomes more like the comic book Lex Luthor without really kind of drastically altering his portrayal. But at least I'll admit, having him in Justice League makes a lot of sense. So of course, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below, and how do you think he'll be used in the movie? And in our last story of the day, a new director might just be joining the DCEU. That director is Rick Famuyiwa, the guy behind one of my personal favorite movies of 2015, Dope. And hang on folks, because the explanation behind this rumor is a little loopy. The rumor first popped up when superfans noticed that Famuyiwa had followed a number of DCEU-related Twitter accounts. So it must be true. The director followed people like Ben Affleck, Jason Momoa, Ray Fisher, Gal Gadot, Zack Snyder, and then also the accounts of several upcoming DCEU movies. He was then also promptly followed by Geoff Johns. Coincidence? Honestly, I think not. And it sounds crazy. I mean, you gotta take it with a huge grain of salt, but I think there's something to this. I mean, being followed by Geoff Johns and following all those accounts overnight kind of suggests that he might have at least met with DC, doesn't it? As for what movie he could take, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, but I've got a couple of ideas. The clear frontrunner for most folks seems to be The Flash, seeing as they just lost Seth Grahame-Smith over creative differences, and it's the only movie coming out in the next 2 years that doesn't have a director right now. Another popular theory is that he'll be directing Cyborg, which for the moment doesn't come out until 2020, and the reasoning for this is probably based on the fact that all of Famuyiwa's films to date have concerned the Black American experience in one way or another. But I'd put money on Shazam as a dark horse candidate, but maybe that's just me. So that wraps it up for another H&N. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like if you like what you saw, subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider supporting us on Patreon for access to all sorts of exclusive goodies. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you tomorrow.